manage your economy by including fish with it. So I'm going to show scouts into knights while playing water in this one. Let me pause and change the description. Scouts into knights on water, on hybrid. Scouts into knights on hybrid map. Oh, way too big of a description. I guess that's still readable. I think you guys can read it. So I'll show 3 build orders in this one, and you can decide which one you guys would want to do. And depending on the civilization you get, I'm going to show 1 scout build order, I'm going to show a archer build order, and I'm also going to show a Manatam build order for 4 lakes. Depending on which civilization you have, you can decide on which one you want to do. Water nomad build, I don't think I have one for it, sorry. I can show a nomad build, but not a water nomad one. I think water nomad is basically you play galley rush. If I remember correctly, that map. You just try to go up to feudalage as quickly as possible while collecting all the buffaloes on the map, and then just make a bunch of galleys with like 3 or 4 ducks. That's like the typical rundown of that map. I'm talking about maps which are more general. The ones like which are not as often played. I mean, which are mostly played, sorry. And not the ones which are rare. But in terms of strategy, that is what you would want to do. Four onward, and then next villager goes to take the boar, and the villager after that makes a house near the shoreline. And a villager after that goes to the word, so that you have a total of 5 onward. I'm gonna push at least like 1 or 2 deers. As always. Then just this villager, once it completes the house, will go to the corner to make the dock.
مستعد بناء صياد سمك أمر بناء صياد سمك
Once I push in my second deer, I'm gonna go scout my opponent. I only need 5 on wood, that's all I need. Once my boar is almost done, gonna send a second villager to take the second boar.
مستعد سأفعل نعم صحيح نعم. أمر حسنا نعم سيادة مستعد صحيح أهلا صياد ألو
Actually no, I'm gonna go up with your typical 20 pop, which will be 19 villages.
نعم حطاب مستعد أمر باحثة عن الطعام نعم حطاب نعم سيادة مستعدة
And once you're up, add 1 more,
أمر نعم سيادة مستعدة
so that you have 7 on one wood line. Add the rest of the villages on straggler. Add the 4th fish. keep like the other 7 villagers over here. You need another lumber camp soon,
أمر
ألو حطاب
مستعدة
أمر بناء
so that you have 14 on wood in total. And 4 lakes on the opposition player. Vietnamese don't have any bonuses. No, Vietnamese and 4 lakes the opposition. Ah, not necessarily.
نعم حطاب
Vietnamese have cheaper eco upgrades
صياد سمك
and all of that stuff.
مستعدة
So once you have 14 on wood, you don't need any more.
مستعدة نعم
Add the barracks when you are able to afford it.
بناء
أمر باحثة عن الطعام
I delayed it quite a bit, so I'm gonna rush it with 4 villages.
نعم سأفعل أمر حطابة نعم بناءة
Gonna make my stable, getting the wood upgrade. Once I'm up, and all the new villages just go to sheep.
أهلا بناء حطاب
مستعدة باحثة عن الطعام
نعم باحث عن الطعام
And make fish whenever you are able to. Keep making scouts and keep making fish whenever you have enough
أمر
to make a fishing ship.
مستعد بناء حطاب
You're not going to be relying more than on one dock. This is like you can start playing more greedy if you want to add more docks. You should be sending villagers to the other pond to make docks. But I'm going to show like a more standard variation where you're relying more on one dock play.
نعم بناءة حطابة
Like then it's like more consistent depending on if you're playing team game or something. But if you wanna like do it in an actual game, you should be sending a villager to make a dock on the other pond.
مستعد بناء
Right now.
حطاب
Not well. Yeah, sure. I mean, it's not as obvious, but like it still is fine. Like because my opponent can be here or here. Knowing that is also a good advantage.
باحثة عن
Even if it's not a big one on this map, because it kind of becomes obvious. Because if you can't find your opponent on the left side, he must be on the right, for sure. But again, it still gives you a little bit of a timing where you understand where your opponent is.
حطابة
باحث
Just constant TC and one dock production while you're making scouts. Once you have 4 on berries, get the farm upgrade as well.
نعم
And remove 2 villages from the wood line. Once you have your farm upgrade, remove the 2 villages. You only need 12 at this point.
أهلا
And start adding farms.
بناء
And send to gold at the same time as well with the villages. With the stragglers that you have under your TC, just start adding farms once you get the farm upgrade. While you're adding scouts. It's gonna go for like 8 scouts in general again. Keep adding fish again.
حطاب
Take the
نعم عامل منزل
take the stragglers whenever you're not able to afford the farms.
أمر بناء
مستعدة بناءة نعم بناءة
أهلا أمر ألو
Go for something like 8 farms again.
أهلا
نعم مستعدة بناءة حطابة
It's constant 1 dock fish.
أمر
And if you're asking me how many bard micro lost to many scout, yeah, I'm not paying attention. I'm looking more at the build. Have something like 10 fish on 1 pond.
نعم
And now I'm just gonna add like 3 more villages to the gold, and that will give me enough food to. By the time like I'll have these villages coming out, I'll have enough food to click up to the castle age. I already have my blacksmith.
حطاب
Add a second dock on the same lake if you're against the opponent who's making like another stuff. At this point, you should be able to expand to the other lake, so send a villager over there.
أهلا أمر
Not quite able to click up just yet, but should be able to click up a next villager or two.
صحيح
Gonna
بناء
keep adding farm with this one.
عامل منجم بناء بناء أهلا بناء مزارع
After this, I'm able to click up.
نعم مزارعة
نعم نعم باحث عن الطعام
باحثة عن
مستعد عن
الطعام.
الطعام
مستعدة نعم
Once you're up, get your upgrades.
أمر صيادة سمك
Add a second stable.
مزارعة
And use the scouts to harass your opponent as usual while going for the fish at the same time.
أمر نعم بناء
مستعدة
Having a combination of farms allows you to have like a backup of food income. And if you want to play like the more standard way of doing it, you don't need to add this many farms. You can just substitute those villagers working on the farm for wood and go for the villagers on wood while making fishing ships.
أمر
But
نعم
as always, I'm showing like a more flexible way of doing this in an actual game where you have a combination of fish economy and farm economy, which will let you bank up a lot of food.
أهلا ألو مستعد
I'm up to castle age at 18 minutes while opening scouts. So that this is like the power of the fish eco. If your fish gets harassed, then like you have to invest into defensive units as well. Get the wood upgrade, get light cab if you want to. Get the fishing upgrade, which is gillnets, which allows you to have like much more efficient working fish.
Saladin!
I don't want to alarm you, but
Crusaders are attacking our trade route!
And send like all your new villages to wood. Now you basically send everything to wood. Keep adding farms on your fish on your other ponds, but I'm like not going to do that just yet. I'm just gonna wait for the wood to start adding town centers instead.
بناءة
أمر حطاب
I was gonna keep sending new villagers to wood.
ألو
Only 8 on gold. That's all I need with the gold upgrade.
أهلا ألو
أمر مزارعة عاملة منجم
Just continue to make knights at this point on.
نعم
And set up your economy with 3 TC.
بناءة
And keep making farms and fishing ships whenever like you have the resources to make fish. You can replace your farming economy with fish economy. Just to what if your opponent docks you a second, how do your reaction make defense on your pond? Yeah, you basically add fire ships of your own if you're against your opponent who's going for your fish. You add a second dock and you start adding like get war galley upgrade and start adding fish. I mean your own defensive fires.
مستعد نعم ألو
You can even go for offensive fires. You can start expanding. That's all adaptation. I'm just showing how to open scouts and to knights as hybrid build. That's very specific to 4 leagues on what you want to do in that map. This is like constant knight production now.
نعم
Can even make a dock here just to have it more efficient income wise. And now with these knights you should be able to have the map control, pick up relics, take most of the other docks and stuff.
مستعدة
These villagers can go to stone.
أمر بناء صياد سمك
نعم بناءة نعم
You need more on gold, of course. If you get harassed a little bit earlier and you want to make defensive fires, you can add more on gold a little bit early on instead of adding those villages on farms.
أمر عامل منجم بناء أهلا حسن ألو نعم حطاب أمر أهلا بناء عامل منجم مستعد بناء عامل منجم.
Yeah, this actually basically concludes the scouts into knights on a hybrid map build, where like your eco is basically untouched. I'm talking about the most passive scenario.
مستعدة.
ألو.
Yeah, exactly. But that's why I added the second dock so that my fish stays efficient.
بناءة.
Plus a combination of farm and fish economy.
نعم. بناءة. أمر سأفعل. عاملة.
And with like how much I'm able to boom right now, I'm also going to be able to go up to Imperial very quickly.
مستعد بناء.
Then I can switch to either like paladins or arbalists depending on the civilization I'm playing.
سأفعل. بناء عامل منجم. أمر عامل منجم.
أمر عاملة منجم.
Yeah. This allows me to click up to Imperial Age.
أهلا. مستعد. نعم. بناء.
نعم. بناءة. عاملة منجم. أمر بناءة.
بناء. أهلا. عامل منجم.
أهلا حسنا.
Now I can start adding archery ranges if I want to play Arbalest or something like that.
بناء.
نعم صحيح نعم.
نعم. عاملة منجم. مستعدة. عاملة منجم. أمر بناءة.
Since I'm playing Saracens, I'm switching into Arbalest, but you can do whatever you want depending on the civilization you have.
مستعدة. بناءة. نعم.
أمر.
أهلا. عاملة منجم. حسن. نعم. نعم. عاملة منجم. أمر بناءة. حطابة.
مستعد.
صحيح.
You drop a castle forward.
أمر عاملة منجم.
أهلا.
نعم.
مستعد. بناء.
أهلا صحيح نعم.
نعم.
Yeah, must be including fish count, yeah. I have like 18 extra fish.
هجوم.
مستعدة. بناءة. عاملة منجم. نعم. بناءة. مستعدة. بناءة.
أمر. بناء.
بناءة.
مستعد. أمر. صحيح. أهلا. نعم. بناء. مستعد.
مستعدة.
مستعد. نعم. أمر حسن. مستعد أفعل.
أمر. بناء.
نعم حسنا.
Yeah, well, once you're in this position, like I'm doing the end state of the game where you're just like finishing off your opponent.
بناء. أمر.
Depending on the civilization, your army composition might differ.
أهلا صحيح نعم.
مستعد.
But since I'm Saracen, I'm just doing the typical Arbalest opening.
أمر بناءة. مستعدة.
أهلا. عامل منجم. نعم. حطاب.
نعم. هجوم. مستعد الهجوم نعم هجوم مستعد سأفعل الهجوم أمرك هجوم مستعد
نعم. أمر بناءة.
نعم بناء حطاب مستعد بناء أمر بناء حطاب مستعد
Harrison only required tribes to
أمرك
only to open. Yeah, pretty much.
نعم
If you're against a castle like this, you just make trebs.
سأفعل أمرك مستعد هجوم
Now I can start switching into light cav as well.
حسن عامل بناء
نعم حسنا سأفعل. أهلا سأفعل. صحيح سأفعل.
سأفعل. حطابة بناءة.
أمر الهجوم
Yep, this is it. You can start making hussars once you have enough food eco. That basically ends the game on the spot right there. That's how you open scouts. As